What's the deal? What's up? What's tea? And all of that. And welcome back to the Tata Beauty Podcast with your host, I'm Malaysia, where we turn trauma into beauty, baby. And this is episode 6, where we are getting into betting on yourself. That's what this episode is about. But before I get into that, just let me say to all the May babies, happy belated birthday. Especially to my Geminis, because it's our season right about now. And I actually just celebrated my birthday this past Monday, which was the 22nd. So shouts out to all my Geminis, my May babies, period. They hate to love us, but to know us is to love us. You just gotta hold on. What they say, only the strong survive. No. But welcome back. As I stated, episode 6, we are getting into betting on yourself. Now, this topic, I believe a lot of people should tune into because there are a lot of people who don't bet on themselves. And I have been one of those people. There are people who have a pattern of, in and out, betting on themselves and then not betting on themselves. So, betting on yourself. Betting on yourself is believing in yourself, having confidence in anything that you do, anything that you put your name on, anything that you stamp, any idea that you have, betting on yourself, that you have the tenacity, that you have the consistency to do it, the manpower, the mental capacity, because literally everything that you do is mental. So don't let anybody tell you that it's not, because literally anything that you do is mental. So in betting on yourself, you have to first believe that you can do it. That's number one. And after you believe in yourself, you have to know that you can do it alone. Because I know a lot of people get in that mode where it's like, how can I say? Well, they get a little discouraged because maybe the people that they're around are moving faster than they are, or the people they're around are not really supporting the things that they're really supporting in the moment, or that they are interested in the moment, or they just feel like it's just a great idea. We've all been there too. But at the end of the day, although those people come in and try to be blockages or try to stagnate you, it's all about you believing in you. Point blank, period. And I know a lot of people might be looking at this and be like, well, that's duh, we all know that. But it's so easy to slip into a mode of, am I good enough? Am I going to execute it the way that I need to? Because so many people are in so many fields nowadays. So many people. So many people are podcasting. So many people do hair. So many people, tattoo. So many people are fashion designers. So many people model. So many people are video vixens. The list goes on and on and on. But nobody does it quite like you do. And that is something that I myself had to learn, because being in a world that's constantly growing, constantly evolving, people are going to step into the field that you're in at times. But you can't get timid. You can't get nervous. You can't, you can't doubt yourself. You really, really can't, because I've been in that season where I've doubted myself. And not necessarily saying that I didn't believe in myself. It was just a matter of I couldn't fight my personal life. I couldn't fight it. How can I say? I couldn't separate my personal life from the business that I was actually conducting, because I just felt like if things weren't going right in my personal life, I was still performing, so I was still, going out doing all of these business ventures and stuff like that, but my mind was still crowded. My mind was still going back to whatever I was going through before I got wherever I was, or whatever event I was at. And I was just like, why can't I get out of my own freaking way? Why can't I just, in a sense, I would say not care? Because I know we all get in that mode where it's like, we don't need to care to keep going forward, to keep pushing forward. And that's not even the case sometimes. You can care and still push forward. You don't have to not care and be so malicious and so evil and want to surpass other people that you become what's the word I'm looking for, because I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to misconstrue anything that I'm trying to say, because I'm not trying to say it's evil, but you can sabotage. That's the word that I'm looking for. And I know you guys have heard me say that I've sabotaged a lot, but I have. And this is what this show is all about, just being transparent and coming to the forefront and letting you guys know that it is okay. You can see somebody shining, and like they say, the shine come before the fall sometimes, because we don't know what we're doing sometimes. We don't know what we're getting ourselves into, but at the end of all of that, I say, when the fall comes, you still have to know how to believe in yourself. And I don't think that I fully did that. Fully. So if I'm speaking to anyone right now who has been in any of that kind of push and pull situation with yourself, being around other people who may not see your vision, you may already have a business flourishing, and none of your friends may be in that career path, but it doesn't matter. As long as you have those people around you who are willing to pour into you and just be like, yes, do that, or giving you that push. Not to say that that's what you need, but it helps. It really, really helps. But ultimately, betting on yourself is what counts. And that is sometimes a hard pill to swallow, because I got into a mode, and I'm only saying because I am taking accountability. That's what we're here for, accountability, growth. Because I had to sit and realize that I wasn't betting on myself as much as I thought I was. And a lot of us have to understand that we're not betting on ourselves as much as we think we are at the times we are. And I'm going to give you an example. So, for an example, I was in a relationship, and although I was involved in the things that I was involved in before I actually got in this relationship, everything was, whatever. But once I got into the relationship and both of our worlds collided, it was kind of like, not that I wasn't getting support, because I was getting the support, but once I started going through like my, I guess you could say, my spiritual awakening, or the family issues that I was going through with losing my dad, my sister, and just all the mental things that I was going through, trying to figure out my own shit, I kind of pushed the support away, because I kind of figured she didn't understand where I was coming from. And in most cases, she didn't, because I didn't even understand my own freaking feelings. But in a sense, I kind of stopped betting on myself and just would look to her to give me the push, or look toward social media to give me the push, instead of saying, Alasia, you know what you're capable of doing. I can honestly say I saw myself losing myself. And in doing that, it caused a strain on everything else in my life. Speaking of relationships, friendships, my career, jobs, I might have quitting a job off of just emotional impulse, just not betting on myself, just thinking that, it's just over for me, and I begin to self-sabotage some more. I begin to shun away friends. I begin to shun away my partner. Not necessarily shutting them away in the sense of not wanting them around, but shutting them away in the sense of I don't understand my own energy right now, so I don't want to push this off on any of you. So I need to be by myself. But when people care about you, sometimes they can't just let you sit with yourself. They can't leave you by yourself because they want to help you. They want to save you in a sense. And I didn't feel like I needed saving. I just felt like I needed to believe in me again. I needed to sit with myself and just realize how much I fucked up and how much I need to bet on me, you know? And that comes with being in survival mode. I know a lot of people can agree with that as well. Not betting on yourself sometimes is because you're in survival mode. You are literally just living day to day, just trying to survive. And I'm pretty sure all of us have been there too. Because not for nothing, I'm kind of still in that state where it's like kind of like survival mode, where I'm still trying to make a way for me and my child, still trying to come out of all of the bad things that I have endured throughout my life. And I'm okay. I can honestly say that I'm okay. I'm not pleased with how I have gone with certain things in my life, how I have reacted to certain things instead of, sitting back. But I am proud of the fact that in those moments I was able to take accountability, and I was willing to, or I was trying to reverse it. It was just the people that I was around necessarily didn't know how to handle that in the moment, and that's okay too. I don't hold any grudges against anyone, so I'm here to tell you, don't hold grudges. Don't hold grudges against people who can't understand what you're going through and why you can't bet on yourself, because they're also going through what they're going through. I had a season where I knew what people were going through, yes, but we all get in our seasons or in that attitude where it's like, well, I was able to put what I was going through on the back burner to be here for you, so why can't you do that for me? And I have gone into that state as well, where it was, why aren't these people believing in me like I believe in them? And even though I had it in the back of my head, like, Alicia, you're confident, you got it in you, you're very talented, you're showing and you're proving that you can do it, because I was actually doing it. But I felt like I needed that support behind me of, my talent. And I got it. I definitely got it. But I also felt where it was fake, where it was forced, where it was an opportunist situation. So I had to remove myself. But in removing myself, I still was like questioning my worth, questioning, am I going to be able to do this? I've had, countless interactions, my last relationship, where it was just talk of, well, you don't have a business. You're not this, you're not that. And not even in that relationship, but I've heard it with my dad as well. So I'm not just going to even push that off on the relationship, but I've heard it from my dad as well. You're not going to be shit without me. You're not going to do this without me. You're not going to prosper in life if you don't take heed to what I'm saying. And without even knowing it, that's something that I took with me as well. My dad, just him in the back of my head, like when something went wrong, it was, your dad was right. You're not going to make it without him. You're not going to, and then it was just like, man, forget that. You can't keep thinking of, oh, you're not going to make it without this person. You're not going to make it without that person. And to everybody that is making it without people they thought they couldn't make it without, I applaud you wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly, okay? To the people who are prospering without their parents, I applaud, because you have moments where you think you can't make it without your parents. You think you can't make it without the support or the money of your parents. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Bet on you. Bet on you every single chance that you get. I'm about to get a little emotional because, like I said, I have for a long time thought that I betted on myself, but I wasn't. I really, really wasn't. If anything, I was lowballing myself. If anything, I was becoming complacent with where I was because it was comfortable for me, and I was basically not getting where I wanted to be. I was being fulfilled physically because I was in these rooms, and I was actually what I believe living in my purpose in those moments, and I still believe I'm living in my purpose now. I'm just not in those rooms, just in the comfort of my own home. I found myself apologizing to myself a lot. So if you have to sit and apologize to yourself, do that. I have literally realized that, I put myself in a bubble without even knowing it, which caused me to stop betting on myself. Even pouring into other people, sometimes you can lose sight of betting on yourself because you want that other person to win so bad, or because you want things to work in that relationship so bad that you kind of lose sight of your own purpose, and you lose sight of what you really want in life, So just be mindful. Be mindful of, like always, the company you keep. We're always going to say that. Be mindful of the company that you keep. But be mindful of your own strength. Be mindful of your own journey, and understand that even if others fall off during that journey, it doesn't mean that that's not meant for you. You just need to go another route with it. I had to learn that too. That just because these people aren't with me, or just because you started off with these people and they're not necessarily with you, doesn't mean you still can't move forward. And I also used to tell, my group of individuals I used to be around, the dance friends I was around, I used to also tell them, we're all not going to end up in the same places. And I'm thankful that we're all able to work together to get where we need to go. But at the end of the day, we might sporadically, move on to different things. And that's actually what happened. I mean, there was things in the middle of that, but that's here nor there. But at the end of the day, we're all in different situations. And I am actually happy. I am not okay with how things went and the way things played out. But at the end of the day, I am genuinely, genuinely happy for whatever played out for whoever it played out for. And I'm just going to leave that there. But when I actually saw them, going off to tours, or, traveling to different states and doing the things that they were doing, it was like, damn, Malaysia, you're not betting on yourself. You're not betting on yourself. And that's when everything just fucked up. Definitely did. So if I'm speaking to anyone, listen to what I'm saying to you. Don't ever be afraid to bet on yourself. I don't care how many people are not supporting you. I don't care if you only get 2, 3 likes, 3 views, whatever. I actually created a whole nother Instagram page for that specific reason, because I wanted to bet on me this go around. Like, just me, just being authentically me. Not anything that somebody used to know about me or any old stories, just me. So when people judge you for starting over or judge you for wanting to starting over, let that fly. I applaud the people who overcome everything meant to destroy them. Every rumor meant to stagnate them. I applaud you guys. You understand me? Because it's not easy. It is really not easy. And for anybody to make it out of that is a blessing. It is a true blessing. And if I could stop anybody from self-sabotaging themselves in that aspect of not betting on themselves because they don't think they're good enough, nah, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. We are getting out of our own way. 2023 and beyond. That's what we are doing. We are no longer sitting in that stuck energy. We're not doing that. We're not. So if anybody is in that stuck, get out of it. You got a clothing line? Start making those clothes. Start promoting it. Because it was at a moment where I didn't want to promote anything. I didn't want to, repost anything because I was just fucked up. That's the only way that I can describe it. I went through a tower moment. I really went through a tower moment where it felt like everything got taken away from me and people capitalized off of everything that they took, whether it was mental, physical, financial, whatever it was, spiritual, doesn't matter. So that was the energy that I was left in, and I definitely was not betting on myself. I got in my ego, and I started to post online about what I used to do, and I've always been her, and it just got to a point where it was like, Lay, you're not her. You're not. You're literally just depressed, hurting, heartbroken, and you are deflecting, and you are projecting. Very much so. I was projecting real bad, instead of understanding that I was the cause of that. I wasn't betting on myself, which is why career things necessarily didn't work out for me, even if I was going through all of the mental things that I was going through, because it still was on me to get myself out of those situations. Whereas I just, you could say, kind of leaned on people and the relationships that I was around. Survival mode, I sit here before you today single because I didn't believe in myself. Not to say I didn't believe in the fact that I couldn't be a partner. It was just I was so mentally messed up. I was always trying to figure out a way to get me out of that. So it was suggesting counseling, but that wasn't necessarily something that, my partner felt like she needed, but I felt like, in being in that relationship, we should fight for each other. And you can't force certain things on people, and I just gave up, you could say. I felt like everybody that I was working with business wise was against me. Nobody wanted to work with me. And then now my relationship was just like, so I just was like, I stopped betting on myself. I just thought I wouldn't or wasn't going to be that wife. I couldn't be that person because I didn't have a business, or because I didn't have the money that I necessarily wanted to have. And I'm going to say it again, in sitting in these last 9-10 months with myself, it was just like, I started to bet on myself again. So I started to habits that gave me this glow that I have now. The business, it'll come. I have seen people do a lot of business ventures. So I'm not concerned about that. I was concerned about getting me back, about getting my character back, about getting my energy back. And it was all about betting on me, that I could do it, that I could get to where I am now, that I could be the calm woman that I always wanted to get to, and not betting on anybody else to do that for me, but betting on myself. Betting on myself that I could get up and make this choreo and create it and not have to go to a class to get inspiration for it, but because I believed in myself, I'm betting on me. Or starting my own podcast because I'm betting on me. Betting on me. Getting the house that I'm going to get because I'm betting on me. That's in the works. Listen, when I tell you everything is a work in process, everything is a work in process. And don't allow anybody to rush you into that process. Everybody has their seasons. Everybody has the blessings that are necessarily just meant for them. Just them. So don't question it. Don't. Because it took me a while to stop questioning, like, well, why are they doing this and I'm not doing it? Because, baby girl, you're not betting on yourself. You're worried about other people. Yeah, that's something nobody wants to talk about. And that's something I didn't want to talk about. That's something I didn't want to get into either, because, like I said, nobody wants to know that they are being sucked into something they don't want to be sucked into necessarily, or they're being a follower. Because, yeah, I'm not going to say I was a follower. We're not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. But in moving certain ways that I moved with conducting business, I would say I was a follower. That's what I'm going to say, and I just had to understand I was not fucking, it's a hard pill to swallow, to know that you're not betting on yourself, even when you see yourself doing the work. You heard what I said? Yeah. It's hard to not bet on yourself, even when you're putting in the work. So easy. So easy to do that. And I'm here to help anybody get out of that mindset. Get out of it. If you want to go work out, work out. Who cares about other people being in the gym? Because I've heard that too. I don't go to the gym because all you them skinny people in it. Not betting on yourself. Why does it take for it to be a room full of people who look like you in order for you to bet on yourself? No. Why does it take for you to be perfect at whatever you do? You don't have to be a perfectionist. You don't have to be a perfectionist to start somewhere. You really don't. You really, really don't. And that was something that I was concerned with, just being a perfectionist, but I was a lazy perfectionist. So how could you be a perfectionist if you're lazy? That doesn't work. That will never work in the real world. If you're trying to get to a specific goal, if you're trying to create that family, or you're trying to create a legacy, you're never going to get there. And yeah, Lay was just a ball of fuck-ups. But I'm proud to say that I have gotten out of those mindsets, and I'm living in my purpose, and I am here to deliver the message. Whoever wants to listen, I'm appreciative of that. But like I said, I'm still living in the city of Paterson, and if I can help anybody living in the city of Paterson, so now I'm speaking to my hometown. If I can speak to y'all real quick, I know it's hard out here. It's a lot of, where it's everywhere in the world, a lot of competition, a lot of, just people betting against you. You know what I mean? Bet on yourself. At the end of the day, at the end of the night, beginning of the day, end of the night, whatever you want to say, bet on you. Bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. Even if you're around all of these crowds of people, who cares? Nobody is ever going to be okay with everything that you do in life. Nobody has your best interest at heart more than you. And that's something that I had to learn, even though I wanted to have so much faith in people. Sometimes having that faith in people can stagnate you even more. And I know some people have felt that way about me because I couldn't even get out of my own way. Well, we're gonna pause that because we know what time that is. It's time for Isn't It Shady? So let me get the shades up. We got some new shades. Okay, I'm gonna tag the I think Lash Bossy, I think it is, on Instagram. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna tag them on the screen at the bottom. Now I'm gonna go off subject here a little bit, but this is so funny, right? So me and my best friend went to Philly this weekend for our birthdays. Her birthday is actually today. But so anyway, isn't it shady how I had to take one for the team because we couldn't find nothing to eat. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. We found a Denny's. I'm gonna make this as short as possible. We found a Denny's and some guy was sitting outside and he looked mad, like mad. And he basically, long story short, he said that he was not cooking. Nobody wasn't gonna see this or whatever. But we're like, it's 24 hours there, so what's good? I'm talking outside to him, whatever. I'm telling him, I'm down here for my birthday, whatever. I don't even know. Well, I know, but we not going, whatever. Anyway, he wound up saying he was going to cook for us, right? So they went to go sit us down. And while I'm at the table, I'm like, Bess, oh God, I feel like this man going to ask me for my number because he done let us in here. Girl, isn't it shady how as soon as we got to check out to pay for our food, and I told my best friend to go to the car, this man ain't waste no time. As soon as she walked out the door, he said, what's your number? Hey, yo. I could not. I said, yo, Bess, I cannot make this up. Like, I couldn't make this up even if I wanted to. But I knew that man was going to ask for my number because he done gave us a meal, 3 o'clock in the morning. He like, yeah, I done fed y'all. Girl, you... Oh, God, y'all. It's a mess. Yeah, I took one for the team, but y'all should know what happened after that. Sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I just like my women's. I like the soft skins. Yeah, I like that. I don't think we need to spend too much time on this subject matter, to be really honest with you. I kind of wish I did have a guest up here. I've been reaching out to people. They haven't really been responsive. I'm dealing with a lot of rejection right now, but it's cool. Listen to what I'm saying to you. This is coming from a very, very, very humble and very sincere place. Anybody that I have reached out to, I understand if you've been busy or whatever the case may be. But whenever you are ready, I would love to have you guys. I'm not going to say specific names because I do want it to be like a surprise type of thing. But just bet on yourself. Nothing is out of reach unless you stop reaching, right? Because a lot of things stopped for me because I stopped reaching. I wasn't living up to my full potential. Even though I was talking it, I wasn't living it. And I feel like I am doing it now. It's just a slower process for me because I have sabotaged so much, and I had to go back and sit with myself and just be like, Alasia, you got to bet on you. You got to stop trying to trust other people to bet on you because it's never going to work that way. Never. Ever, ever, ever. So, like I said, if I'm speaking to anybody in particular, just bet on you. Start that business. Move if you want to move. If you're scared of moving, to start that new business. If you feel like being where you are, go. Go wherever you need to go. Do whatever you need to do. And bet on you. And that's what I'm going to leave you guys with today. This has been episode 6, Betting on You. I'm your host, Alasia, Teddy Beauty Podcast, where we turn trauma into beauty. And I'll catch you guys next time.